Do not make the same mistake I did. Listen to me carefully. I signed my house over to my son. I thought I was protecting my family. Now I live in a nursing home. 8 months. I have been sitting in this room for 8 months. My son put me here and kept my house. And the worst part? I signed the papers myself. Lord help me, I signed them with my own hand. My name is Lorraine. I am 78 years old. I am from Birmingham, Alabama. And I need to tell somebody what happened to me, because carrying this alone has been eating me alive. There is one window in this room. It faces a parking lot. Every morning I sit in this chair and watch people climb into their cars and drive away. And every morning I think about my house, my little brick house on Ridgeway Avenue, the house I paid off after my husband Walter died, the house with the white porch swing, the house where I raised my son. That same son is the reason I am sitting here now. His name is Marcus. Now I could start this story from the beginning, but I cannot do that. I have to start with where I am now and work backward, because that is how it plays in my head every night. About 8 months ago, I slipped in my hallway and fractured my hip. Ambulance, surgery, rehabilitation. The doctor told me 6 weeks, maybe 8, and I would be able to go back home. I never went home. Marcus handled everything while I was in the hospital. He kept saying, "Mama, don't stress yourself. I got it." And I believed him. I was hurting. I was scared. He was my child. I trusted him completely. That was my mistake. Well, not the first mistake, but we will get there. A couple years before the fall, Marcus came to me one evening and said, "Mama, you shouldn't be living in that house alone anymore. What if something happens?" He said he wanted to move in and help take care of me. Lord, I was so happy hearing that. Walter had been gone almost 7 years by then. 7 long years of silence in that house. Cooking meals for one person. Sitting alone in the evenings. Going to sleep in a bed that still felt too empty. So when Marcus said he wanted to come home, I told him yes right away. He moved in on a Friday afternoon. I remember making fried chicken that night. For the first time in years, the house felt alive again. That feeling lasted maybe a month. Then Vanessa showed up. Marcus introduced her as just a friend. She came over for dinner one night and never really left after that. A toothbrush appeared in the bathroom, then clothes in the hallway closet, then boxes stacked in my garage. Before long, she was living there full time. I remember saying to Marcus one morning, "Baby, I thought this was supposed to be our time together." He laughed and said, "Mama, it's temporary. Vanessa's just getting back on her feet." Temporary turned into permanent real quick. Then came her 2 boys, running through my house screaming, slamming doors, leaving food everywhere. One of them knocked over a framed photo of me and Walter from our anniversary trip to Savannah. The glass shattered. Nobody even apologized. I found the frame sitting in the trash can. That was the day I started staying in my room more. Imagine that. Hiding in your bedroom inside the home you spent your whole life paying for. The living room stopped feeling like mine. The kitchen was always crowded. My backyard turned into a parking lot full of people I didn't know. But every time something felt wrong, I pushed the feeling down because I kept telling myself, "That's your son. He loves you." Lord, I wanted to believe that so badly. Now, here comes the part that still makes me feel foolish. About 5 months after Marcus moved in, he sat me down at my own dining room table and started talking about the house deed. Said putting the house in his name would make everything easier later on. He said it would avoid probate and protect the family. Said, "Mama, this will always be your home no matter what." I can still hear him saying that. This will always be your home. And I believed him. I looked at the paperwork, but not carefully. I saw the address, saw our names. That was enough for me. I did not call a lawyer, did not ask questions, did not read every line. I just signed. Because he was my son. Because I loved, because trusting him felt natural. I have sat in this room for 8 months, replaying that exact moment in my head. The sound of the pen on paper. The way I actually felt proud while signing it, like I was doing something generous and loving. That is the part that hurts the most. Marcus visits sometimes. Not often, maybe twice a month. He usually brings snacks or magazines, sometimes barbecue from that place downtown I used to like. He sits here talking about normal things like traffic, work, sports, and every single visit, I wait for him to say, "Mama, let's get you home." He never says it. One afternoon, I finally asked him directly. This was maybe 3 months after I got here. I said, "Marcus, when am I coming home?" He smiled that tight little smile and said, "Mama, you're safe here. They take good care of you." I said, "I healed. I can walk again. Why am I still here?" He changed the subject immediately, and I let him. Lord, I let him. Then about a month ago, he slipped up. He came by on a Sunday afternoon carrying takeout containers. We were halfway through dinner when he casually mentioned that the tenants wanted the bathroom faucet replaced. I said, "What tenants?" The room went quiet. He tried to correct himself, stumbling over his words, saying some friends were staying there temporarily so the house would not sit empty. I said, "Marcus, are strangers living in my house?" And that is when he said it. "Mama, technically it's my house now. Lord have mercy." I felt something in me break hearing those words. Technically. Like all those promises meant nothing, like he had been waiting for the moment he could finally stop pretending. I just sat there staring at him while memories kept flashing through my mind. Him sitting at my table. Him promising me I would always have a home there. And suddenly everything became clear. The nursing home. The excuses. The delays. The avoiding the conversation. It all made sense. Somebody else is living in my house, and my son is collecting money from it while I sit here staring out this window every day. Do you know what hurts the most? It is not even the house anymore. It is realizing the person you trusted most in the world saw your trust as an opportunity. That kind of pain settles deep in your chest. I keep replaying every warning sign I ignored, every moment my instincts whispered, something isn't right. When Vanessa moved in, when the boys took over my home, when Marcus pushed those papers toward me. Every single time, I ignored my own feelings because questioning him felt disloyal. But asking questions is not betrayal. Protecting yourself is not betrayal. A few weeks ago, I finally called Marcus and confronted him directly. I asked him, "Are people paying rent to stay in my house?" And he said, "Mama, the house costs money to maintain. Taxes, repairs, somebody has to handle it." I said, "You promised I could come home." And he answered with 3 words I cannot stop hearing. "Things change, Mama." That was it. Not "I'm sorry." Not "I know I hurt you." Just, things change. Like losing your home at 78 years old is just some ordinary inconvenience. After that call, I sat here holding the phone in my hand for nearly an hour. And I started thinking about something an old friend from church once told me. She used to talk about something called undue influence. Said it happens when somebody pressures or manipulates an elderly person into signing something they would not otherwise agree to. I do not know if that applies to me. I truly do not know, but I wrote those words down on a piece of paper anyway. Undue influence. I keep it folded underneath my pillow like a tiny piece of hope. There is a social worker here named Miss Evelyn. Every Thursday for 8 months, she has knocked on my door and asked how I'm doing. And every Thursday I lied. I kept saying I was fine because I was embarrassed. because saying the truth out loud would make it real. But this Thursday, I am going to tell her everything. The deed, the promises, the tenants, all of it. Maybe she cannot help me. Maybe nothing changes. But I cannot stay quiet anymore. And if there is one thing I want women my age to hear, it is this. Please protect yourself. If someone asks you to sign papers, read every word. Talk to a lawyer first. Ask uncomfortable questions. I do not care if it is your own child sitting across from you. Love does not replace legal protection. Those are two different things. I spent my whole life making sure my son felt loved and trusted. I just wish I had protected myself with the same energy. Because now, I sit here at 78 years old, wondering how I disappeared from my own life. A few nights ago, I could not sleep at all. The woman down the hall kept ringing for the nurse every 20 minutes, and the fluorescent light outside my door kept flickering on and off. I just laid there, staring at the ceiling, thinking about my life. Not the big moments, the little ones. Packing Marcus lunches for school every morning before work. Sitting in cold football bleachers on Friday nights. Picking up extra shifts at the diner so he could go on class trips everybody else could afford. I remember one Christmas after Walter died. Marcus was only 14. Money was tight that year. I sold my wedding bracelet to buy him a used car, because he needed transportation to his after-school job. I told him the bracelet clasp broke. That was a lie. I sold it for him, and laying here the other night, all I could think was, did any of it matter to him the way it mattered to me? Because I cannot imagine treating my mother this way. I just cannot. Sometimes I still make excuses for him in my own head. Isn't that something? Even after everything, part of me still wants to protect him. I tell myself maybe Vanessa pushed him into this. Maybe he got overwhelmed. Maybe he thinks this is what's best for me. But then I remember the way he said it. It's my house now. Not guilty. Not ashamed. Certain. That is what keeps replaying in my mind. There is another woman here named Gloria. She lives 2 doors down from me. 82 years old. Her daughter barely visits too. We sit together sometimes after dinner downstairs near the vending machines. Last week she looked at me and said, "Lorraine, old age teaches you who people really are." I laughed when she said it, but later that night I cried about it. Because I think she is right. When you are young and useful and giving things to everybody, people make you feel important. But when you get old and need something back, suddenly people get busy. Suddenly you are difficult. Suddenly you are confused. I hate saying that out loud, but it is true. One of the nurses asked me recently why I stare out the window so much. I almost told her the truth, because I keep expecting to see Marcus pull up and say he made a mistake. I keep waiting for my son to come bring me home. And every day that parking lot empties out while I stay sitting in the same chair. You know what else hurts? Realizing how easy it was for me to disappear. 8 months. 8 whole months and the world just kept moving. The neighbors probably assume I moved away. The people at church probably stopped asking about me by now. Meanwhile, strangers are sleeping in my bedroom, eating dinner in my kitchen, walking across floors I spent 30 years paying for. Sometimes I close my eyes and try to remember exactly how my house smelled in the mornings. Coffee brewing, lemon furniture polish, Walter's old records playing softly in the background. I am scared I'm starting to forget. And that terrifies me more than this nursing home does. Because if I lose those memories too, then what do I have left? Yesterday I opened the little drawer beside my bed and looked at the copies of the paperwork Marcus had me sign. I still do not fully understand everything written there. Legal language feels like another world to me. But I noticed something this time. The date. The paperwork was signed only 3 weeks after Vanessa moved in. 3 weeks. That means he was already planning this before I even realized what was happening. Lord, that realization hit me hard. I sat there holding those papers with my hands shaking. Because betrayal feels different when you realize it was planned. I keep wondering if Walter would have seen through this. He was always better at reading people than I was. He used to tell me, Lorraine, your heart is too soft for this world. At the time, I thought that was a compliment. Now I think maybe it was a warning. This Thursday, I'm finally speaking to Miss Evelyn, and I am scared. Not because of Marcus, because once I say all this out loud, there is no pretending anymore. No more telling myself things will magically fix themselves. No more convincing myself he still plans on bringing me home. I think deep down I already know the truth, but maybe telling somebody is the first step toward fighting back. Even if nothing changes legally, maybe I need somebody to tell me I am not crazy. Because Marcus has spent months making me feel like I'm overreacting, like I'm emotional, like I'm confused. But I remember what he promised me at that table. I remember every word, and I know what trust feels like when it is broken. So if you are listening to me right now, please hear this carefully. Do not sign things just because somebody says trust me. Do not hand over everything you built because you are lonely. And please do not confuse love with safety. Those are not the same thing. I learned that too late. My name is Lorraine. I am 78 years old, and after 8 months of silence, I think I'm finally ready to tell the truth.